Hey folks, hope everybody's having a great day. Welcome to 9 to 5 to Freedom. My name's Alex. Today's video on this super red day of March 26, 2025, we're going to show you how my portfolio held up to the bloodbath we've seen in the markets. For those who are new to this channel, I document my journey of achieving that 9 to 5 freedom and being able to live off of passive income. One of the methods I'm using is a high yield dividend portfolio. And on this channel, I'm going to document its performance throughout the months, the weeks, and the years. So glad you found this. So let's dive into it, folks. All right, so this is my portfolio. And before I get in there, folks, this is my channel. Got 32 subscribers. Making our way. We're documenting weekly performance of our portfolio. We dumped about $185,000 so far, which is a crazy amount of money. But okay, so let's talk about it. All right, so today's been crazy, folks. Market, not so good. Very red. S&P 500 down, Dow, Nasdaq, Russell. Look at that, Nasdaq down 2%. S&P 500 down 1.12%. What I wanted to see here, show you, is what happened to my portfolio. So $185,000 invested. I tried to balance this out between more safer plays and sprinkled in some of our favorite, those juicy yield max high yielders. Let's see how we did. 26% of my portfolio, folks, is in XDTE. This is a ETF by Roundhill. This is a 0 day to expiration trading strategy that they do on the S&P 500. Look at this. Today we're down 1.15%. S&P 500 is down 1.12%. This fund did a phenomenal job today. I just want to applaud and give credit where it's due. We didn't get wiped out like in some other funds that you'll see. Okay, so that's my largest position. 26% of my portfolio is in this. I took a little bit of a hit. But again, folks, we're not selling. We're holding on, okay? Things will balance out. Things are falling. Things will go back up. Nothing to worry about. Next one down, XPay. XPay is a 10% position. This one has a lower yield where XDTE targets right now around 27%. XPay targets around 20%, 21% in dividends per year. As you can see, today's hit was identical for XPay, 1.15%. Something to think about. I want to see how these are going to play out. Okay. So far, year to date, XPay did slightly better with 0.83% down, where XDT is down 0.89. All right, we're going to scroll down. JEPQ. This fund's been around for a while. Okay, this is the JP Morgan on NASDAQ. So let's see what was NASDAQ's performance, right? So we are down today. And actually, I'm not sure why it's showing that. We're down 2% on NASDAQ. 2.04%. Okay. JPQ managed somehow to pull off 1.47%. So they actually did better than the NASDAQ. So kind of curious what kind of blend they have in funds, but we're not going to waste our time in this video. QQQI. Okay, this one's on NASDAQ. This one's down 1.72%. Maybe I should just bring this to the side. All right, we'll just keep this on this side. 1.72, and this trades on the NASDAQ 100. So it's more of a condensed view. Now, if we compare it to QQQ, the stock that it plays on, let's see how we did it. 1.84. Wow, QQQI actually did better than the underlier. That's interesting. SPY. We'll compare that to SPY. SPY, we did negative 1.07, where SPY is down 1.19% today. So that's interesting. I wonder if this is going to change by tomorrow, but we'll see. Okay, so next one is BTCI. I have a 8% position on this one, $14,000. This one took a hit of 1.7% today. So BTCI is by Neos. It's down 1.69. I'm sure 1.70. Let's see what Bitcoin did today. Ooh, okay. So Bitcoin is only down 0.09%. So that's interesting. Okay, we'll see what's going to happen tomorrow with this one, okay? BTCI, one of the reasons I invested in it, I was just looking at the chart. I felt like this was a good buying opportunity, and I talked about this on the video where I talked about why I invested into what I invested in. And I thought this was a buying opportunity, get in it at, $53, $52, where the fund started out at $50. We had a rally up to 65 with dwindled down. And all time, we're still in the positive. So sideways is good. So we'll see about that. QDT. Okay, so this one is very similar to XTT, except this one plays on the NASDAQ 100. Now, NASDAQ got hit harder, 1.74%, which out of all of these is the highest hit. Very similar to QI. Okay, so this is a 5.6% position, about $10,000. We lost $180 off the top. All right. Now we're getting into our the reckless plays. These are our risky money makers. If you guys don't know what these are the yield max funds. A lot of these pay like 100%. All right, so how did MSTR do today? MSTR is down 3.66%. MSTY, wow, it actually did better than the underlier, down 2.36%. PLTY, which is a play on Palantir, PLTR, that is down 4.37%. PLTY is down 3, not bad. Then we got NVIDIA, and let's see how NVIDIA did. NVIDIA is down 5.74%. Honestly, I'm kind of shocked how these are doing better than the underliers. I'm not sure. I wonder if something's going to be adjusted tomorrow, but we'll see about that. SMCY, this is MicroStrategy. The underlier is SMCI. That took the largest hit today, 8.86%, and SMCY is down 7.38. As you can see, I have pretty small positions in these. Okay, let me just zoom in. I don't want this to be microscopic, but SMCY, I have a 2.7% position in here, a little bit under 5 grand. So, and that's one of the reasons I wanted to keep these low, because I knew they're a lot more volatile, and I don't want to be, hit in the face when we see this volatility. I think we want to have a pretty blended approach. Okay, moving down. AIPI. This is an ETF that plays on AI stocks from Rex funds. Okay, that's down 2.4%. So pretty balanced out. And I mean, I'm wondering what the underlying holdings are here. Let's see if we can get you a list. Okay, so we got NVIDIA, CrowdStrike, Palantir, ARM, Intel, SMCI, Apple, Cisco, Micron, and Adobe. These are all part of this fund, top 55% of the holding. So this is very tech heavy, and this pays pretty juicy dividend. I have a 2.3% position, about $4,000 in here. Okay, moving down, we're getting into the 1% positions. Some of these are just leftovers from my experimental portfolio. For those of you who've been with me from the beginning, you know that I've played around with a $12,000 portfolio for 3 months since beginning of 2025, and I had pretty good size for that size of the portfolio back then in YMAX and YMAG. And this is where we're down today. YMAX down 2.21%, YMAG down 2.27. Honestly, I was expecting a little bit, I was expecting them to get hit harder. This isn't as bad. Okay, moving down, CLM, CRF, also kept these around since my original portfolio. I'm not going to sell these. These are down as well, around 1% for each one. TSLP, this is from Curve. This one I bought a little bit in. I got a 0.37% position in this. This one, we have, it's a play on Tesla. And I think Tesla was down like 5% today. Yeah, 5.58%. So Curve managed to pull it off, have a smaller fall. This is just JPQ, same fund, but I think this was bought at a different time from our original portfolio. RGT, this is from Roundhill. This is on the Russell. It's down slightly under 1% today. And Coney is a very small position here. I only have, how much do I have? Like $200 in this position. So that's down 4%, and that's a yield max fund on the Coinbase stock. And then we got FEPI. This is just, okay, we're getting into stuff that doesn't even matter anymore. All right, so overall, today's hit 1.82%, okay? 1.82%, I'm down $3.3 thousand. This is nothing to bark at, okay? That's quite a bit of a hit. Now, if we look at the total stock market, let's see, if we look at VOO stock, that's S&P 500. VTI, that's what it is. Okay, so VTI is the total stock market, and that is down 1.17% for today. Okay, so as you can see, we did worse than the total stock market. Obviously, we're very tech heavy in all of these positions. Okay, S&P 500 holds some of the largest giants in tech. All these high yielders are all tech, so lots of tech heavy funds. And that's what we got hit with today. Okay, so overall, it's a little bit of mixed emotion, I would say, because I just threw all these, this large sum of money just beginning of the week. We had a couple of nice positive days, and all of those gains were kind of taken away from us today. So, but at the same time, I think this was an interesting experiment to see the reaction of these funds. Again, we've been tracking them for a few months, so we can kind of expect it already. But in a way, I'm validating that I didn't put in more money into risky funds. I tried to have a large portion of my funds to be the solid foundation, the ones that pay out less dividends, somewhere around between 10 to 20%. Funds like QQQI, JPQ, SPY, XPay, those types of funds, XCT, and a very small portion, about 16% of my fund, is in those high yielders, the riskier plays. So I think I'm glad that I lowered my risk when I made my investments at the beginning of the week. So we'll see how this plays out. There's a lot of tariff stuff. April's coming around. There's going to be more tariffs in April. So we'll see how it is. Anything can happen at this point. This is very unpredictable times, very choppy, lots of rumors about different stuff, but we're gonna chug along. Okay, so I mean I've been through some low periods in my investment journey, like back in 2022 during COVID, all that kind of stuff. I haven't seen effects like the 2008 crash or the the internet crash back in 2000, the dot-com. But the smaller dips that I did see, everything came back. As long as you're investing in things that you believe in, that are good, solid companies, I think everything will balance out in the end. So I want to make this pretty brief and short for everybody. If you like this kind of content, please make sure you subscribe, hit the like button, leave a comment below. What do you think about this portfolio? Am I crazy to do this? Do you have questions or anything like that? Please leave a comment below, and we'll see you on the next video. And we'll have a recap of this week on Friday for sure. If we make another one tomorrow, we'll see you then. So thank you guys.